Hey,
Hi, we're Spider Rockets, and you're watching This is Metal Show.
Hello, this is Tom Collier, and you're watching the This is Metal Show. My great co-host, Jason J. Rock Houston. Tonight, our special guests are Firerock recording music artists, the Spider Rockets. Great to have you guys on here. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves and tell us what you do? Each person just introduce themselves and tell us what you do in the band.
I'm Helena, I'm the singer.
I'm Tony, or AJ Garcia, bass player.
Johnny Knapp, guitar player.
And I'm Dan Prestup, the drummer.
AKA
Nice.
Metal they call me.
AKA Metal. Well,
Great. Okay. Hey, we like metal. We like metal.
You're on the right show, Metal.
Absolutely. So let's talk about your new album. I mean, we're going to try to get that out in May or June. So the writing of the album, what a great album, because we have had such fantastic reviews from the radio people on that.
We are
awesome.
so psyched about that because we're excited about it. But whenever you're excited about something, sometimes you doubt, oh, wait a second, are other people going to get excited about it? And so we're thrilled to find out that they were excited about it. So as well as you, Tom, I was like psyched when you said that you were. I was like, yes.
Yeah, I love the album. Love it. Jason, go ahead. Why don't you ask him a question?
Well, how did you guys come to sign with Firerock? What's the story there?
We met Tom through a friend. And she actually was like, oh, this guy is really nice. He has a label. Talk to him, and I was like, all right, cool, whatever, and I didn't expect anything because usually, well, whatever. Yeah, you never know,
yeah.
right? So I was like, but then he seemed very nice and he was really, really enthusiastic about the label. So, and he had some really good ideas that you could just tell when somebody's excited about something and they're just not going through the motions. And that was very exciting to me.
And let me ask you, did you know right away that Tom was a performer himself, that he's anything about Held Hostage?
He told me. So that was probably the beginning of the conversation before the label stuff. So he talked, and you know what was funny about it is that, it's such a small world because in Jersey, he was on tour with his band and we actually opened the show. And that was like a few years ago, like before COVID, right? So it was like this bizarre, I was like, oh my God. I was like, wait a second. And it was just like, it was so strange because it was like, oh my God, we already met you. We already saw you play. We hung out with you in the green room, whatever, well, it wasn't a green room, but
I mean, let me ask you guys, does that make a difference to you? I mean, to me, I think some of the most successful labels are often ran by guys that are in the business, musicians themselves, as opposed to just a stuffed suit who knows nothing about what life on the road is like, or being in a studio is like, or, writing music.
See, I don't know because I'm sure there's like a million examples out there of all kinds of different scenarios and different people and stuff. And we're just really excited to be working with somebody who's excited about doing what he's doing and working and helping other artists succeed. And that's, to me, is important. I can't even speak about the other stuff out there because our experience is kind of limited with that. We've, our label experience isn't like we've been signed to 25 different labels and they're kind of like, we can kind of identify, the bad and the good and the in between and stuff. But we're just, to me, it's like, it's really important to work with people who are excited about something and who honestly care. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's a difference. And it's like, and you want to work with somebody who really cares and is excited. So
now let me ask you, Tom, before I throw it back to you, tell the story of how you first heard the band, and did you know right away that, hey, that's the band that opened for me, or when did you have that ha moment that
when we started talking, I think Helena said to me, oh, we opened for Ross the Boss. And I was like, well, I did that whole United States tour. I was like, I was there. I was in New Jersey. God, we played with you guys. And so we just started talking. It worked out really good. It was pretty cool to be out there, especially when you're out on the road. It's hard to remember anybody. I definitely remembered these guys. They did a great job. And when I got that album, I was like, wow, the new album that they sent me, I was blown away by it. But I didn't want to get too crazy. So I sent it over to our radio guy who's been in the business for 30 years. He calls me up. He says, "Where the hell did you find these guys?" He said, "This is the best effing album I've heard." You know, I don't want to, but I was like, great. And actually, we talked to him and stuff. Just he's very excited about the album. I mean, he sees this thing maybe possibly getting up in the top 40. I mean, he couldn't pick one song out of it that wasn't great. You know,
Yeah.
so
We
but
worked
really
hard
good.
on it. We worked hard on it, but you know, I mean, the bottom line is you work hard on it, and you put in the time and the effort and stuff, and then you like get the feedback from everybody, and you make changes and stuff along the way to make it stronger and stuff. And so you want people to like it. You don't want to like, you know, you know, this esoteric kind of. I mean, for me anyway, we're not doing it for ourselves. We're doing it
Sure.
for. We want people to like it. You know, that's the bottom line. You know. You know, we
Oh, we
want to
loved it.
reach people with
People
it.
love it though. Here's the
Yeah.
difference. People love it. I loved it, and the radio guy loved it. So I mean, it was like I definitely when I heard that album, I said, "You're gonna get a contract in the mail." Okay, I said, "I'm sending you a record contract right now." I said, "Great." And I said, "I can help you guys with the right people. I think I'm introducing you to people that we can actually elevate you guys. You know, and I think that's important. Why don't we talk about the songwriting? Who did the songwriting on this album? Was it
We
all a group effort, or how was that?
It typically is, you know, it starts with, it usually starts with a guitar riff or a vocal line or a melody line or like lyrics or something. And we kind of, it starts really small and then it kind of like builds from there and we bounce off of each other and find ways to kind of make things gel together better and find parts that kind of lend themselves to each other. But it really is kind of, it's a group effort. It's important to have it that way. I think it's just because it's like we're a band, you know, we're not a solo performer or whatever, or like a, you know, a pop artist or something, you know, so we
Yeah,
work together and that's the important thing. you
I
know?
always think it's cool if I come in with a riff and I'll play something and I'm like, Metal or Dan, what do you feel this? Like I'm feeling something, but I need a beat. And he'll give me usually mess around. You go, how's this? I'm like, yep, that's it. Okay. Yeah, and that's
Nice.
how, like
Just-
everybody will
Yeah, go
ride off each other to make it the best that we four can make it.
Literally,
Nice.
we'll jam everything out in this our practice space here, and then section by section, then put a song together, and then go over it. And we're like, oh, let's try something else here. Maybe a halftime feel in the verse, maybe a double time feel in the second verse, stuff like that. And we'll just literally all jam together.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because a lot of bands, like a lot of times they'll write something, send it over email, and then somebody will come up with a part. We live all close to each other, so I'm 10 minutes away from them. We'll drive down, just all get together and write in the room, same room. So right.
That's fantastic because what haunts me is like I'm getting ready to do another album. I've rewrote it 4 times. So my Great American Rock album, the week before we went in the studio, I threw every song out, rewrote a whole brand new album because I felt I could do it better, and I didn't. You know, it charted for me. It did great for me. So does that haunt you guys at all when you're writing? You guys ever get that? Because I know right now I just booked the end game from I think January 29th. My album's going to be completely done because otherwise I'll rewrite it 30 times. I mean, this morning I wrote another song to throw one out. You know, does that happen with you guys?
It doesn't, but if I tell you, like, honestly, for each song, well, yeah, it does. But we also have like for each song, if I could tell you, I have like 25 pages of lyrics for each song, you know, and I start from the very beginning where it's like the first couple of words or whatever, and usually those are scratched out or whatever, and then they lead to the second page and the third page and the fourth page and the fifth page, and then you see all the scribbles and stuff all over them and stuff and whatever. So it's like it goes through a lot, and it's like, this doesn't sound good right here, and like, oh, this could be better. This doesn't like get the feeling across or something, you know, but it goes through a lot of that stuff. And then we bounce off like,
We demo in here. We have Pro Tools and stuff, and we're no wonderful engineers, but we get the point across, and we get it off to Roman, who's it's excellent here.
Yeah.
Excellent. Jason, you got any more questions? You got another
Metal,
question?
I got to ask you, that's obviously a nickname. Is that a name you gave yourself or somebody else give it to you?
Oh, Metal?
Yeah.
He gives.
Oh, he gives. Who came up with that? You did.
He always does that. He does that to everybody.
When we first met, we started playing. God, it was back 2007 or 9, whatever. And he knew You know, we'd always travel in the car and you go, can I take control of the radio? Sure, or CD,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And all of a sudden we go,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm
I'll play
like,
like
that's
a lot
what
of
band
us
is that? He'd tell you.
Yeah.
And he knew all the metal bands. So I don't know, it just kind of stuck, and I started calling him metal, and it just
Just
stuck.
metal by nickname.
Yeah. By association. I mean, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And then, it's probably an obvious question you get all the time and probably tired of asking, but what's it like for you guys being in a female fronted band? I mean, do you think any different of it, or just like being in any other band you've been in?
I did say personal experience. Everyone's a unit, so like it doesn't even feel like there's like
Yeah.
no. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
no problem. Like we've been on 6-week tours, and it's like there's no. It's like you would think like in a lot of cases like the female would be like, oh my god, I need like a shower like every 20 minutes or every day. Like, and there's times on the road where we're traveling overnight and we stopped. Like, I remember one time we stopped at a truck stop. I think it was like an hour at Phoenix, like somewhere in Arizona in the desert, like 4 or 5 in the morning. We couldn't drive anymore and we couldn't check into the next hotel till like probably 9 or 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
So we took a little nap, like 5 hours. She's fine. Like, but a lot of people, you would think, oh my God, they would go crazy because they're not like a guy or something.
Yeah.
But in this band, it feels like a whole five, it's literally a 4
Yeah.
days.
And Jason, another thing that's awesome is, we're loading equipment up on stage. I'm trying to pick up my 412 Ingle cabinet, practically killing myself. All of a sudden, I'll look behind me. There she is.
She'll
Thrown up there.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap! Thing weighs
It's
more than
definitely-
you, I think. But
Yeah. And other question I have is, let's go around the room and talk about each of your guys' influences, because I imagine everybody kind of brings that into the band and kind of brings what they bring into the band, influence wise.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Influence.
I mean, like who are some of your heroes? I guess, like, in your case, who are some of the singers that influenced you? Who are guitar players and bass players that influenced you guys?
God, like I think we're kind of all over the board, and I think, all right, you start or somebody start. I don't know.
I could start.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
ready.
So for
Start.
me, my biggest bass players influence is definitely Matt Freeman, Brian Keelan from the Bouncing Souls, Dan Andriano from Alkaline Trio, Dee Ramone. I can't, not mention him.
Yeah.
Duff McKagan, for sure.
Wow, yeah.
Especially as a kid, that's all I listened to, and he's a huge influence. And I would say, my bass playing is a little bit of each of those people. So
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I'm like, honestly, I'm from pop to like freaking rock to metal. I'm like all over the place, and I like it all, and I don't have any favorites. I just kind of like, if I'm in this mood, I'll listen to that. I like one of my, from everything from, my God, it's just like from Judas Priest to like freaking Linkin Park to like freaking Volbeat, Godsmack, Shinedown, Green Day, I grew up loving, and Offspring as well. So that's like a huge thing for me. But in terms of singers, it's like, I mean, there's so many great singers. It's like, how could you pick just one singer? And it depends on what vibe you're going for at the moment. There's like a gazillion fantastic singers out there. And, it just, everybody has their own personality that just sets them just a little bit apart, just because it shows them, it shows them.
Some of my favorite bands are like that. They got more of a kind of, one sound, they can do a lot of different types of songs. I mean, especially a great female fronted band, obviously when to go to is Heart. I mean, everybody thinks these days, oh, Heart, they just put out pop ballads, but I mean, you go back to the 70s, you sound like, Barracuda, that's pretty full blown metal,
Yeah.
Ann Wilson is like amazing. I mean, that woman has just incredible pipes. It's like butter, but like just like butter with teeth, Yeah, so she's just amazing.
And
before I throw it back to Tom, question I always love to ask bands is, like, how did
Jason,
you come
wait,
up with
Jason.
the name
Jason, wait.
Spider Rockets?
Let them guys finish what they're talking about. They were telling the influence. We didn't hear the drummer or guitar player.
I'm sorry, Tom. Thanks.
No, go ahead. Let them guys finish up. So go ahead and tell us who the guitar player influences are and the drummer.
Oh yeah, guitar. Go
If
for
I
it.
could go first.
Yeah.
I guess I'm all over the place. I love, like, I'll go back and Jimmy Page. I'll start with him. Like, I thought he's awesome. Even though I'm not, I know I'll be shocked, but it's like the Beatles aren't my favorite or anything, but like watching how George Harrison and John Lennon played through clean Fender twin amps and created rock and roll at that time, I think it was awesome. and I think always based on, I try to think based on the time, like Zeppelin, how they did all that based on, maybe they only had an 8-track recorder and how they got all those sounds and put that together. I find it amazing. Of course, I like Kiss because I just liked all the explosions, Motley Crue, all that kind of stuff. But guitar playing, I liked it really. But then I went on Godsmack. I find that guitar player very interesting because he can take almost single or two chords and rhythmically it created a song. It's just like, yeah, it's almost like the AC/DC, but a little different where Angus is using 3 or 4 chords, which also amazes me how many songs they can write and sound great as by using that. And the same like a Godsmack type thing like that. The Pretty Reckless guitarist, I don't really know his name. I've seen him several times now. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but I think he's awesome. And who else? Breaking Benjamin. They got some really cool guitar playing.
That's cool. Cool.
Great
Alright.
stuff. I wide range. I love a lot of the metal stuff too. So I love like Gene Hoglan he was in Strapping Young Lad, and he played with Testament too. So a lot of that heavier stuff. I like Mike Mangini, Mike Portnoy. They were both Dream Theater. But then I like Kenny Arnoff, who's currently like an amazing session player. So he's playing. I think he's with Sammy Hagar.
Yeah, yeah.
But he played with everybody. Him. Then some of the like Dave Weckl, like some of the fusion guys. There's so many players. It's on just the different styles, like the fusion guys, a lot of the metal, and then of course like the rock guys. Like I love, of course, Neil Peart was amazing.
There you go. Yeah.
It's a wide range.
Oh, there's the sound that makes up the Spider Rockets. I mean, there you go. That's the soup that makes up your guys' sound.
Talk about melting pot, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. All kinds of stuff going on there. And a lot of things that we mentioned. It's like, yeah, just
If you want to talk about some of the bands you guys have been on tour with, I know you guys have been out with Puddle of Mud, Held Hostage, you guys were out with.
that's
Woo!
right.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's
one
talk about
show,
some
but
of
that was hopefully more, right?
There will be this summer. You guys will be up here in New York with us. We'll definitely. We just did the show Saturday night. It was just a phenomenal show, and so we want to do everybody that's signed to Firerock. We're going to do a Firerock music festival up here. We're gonna sponsor the show. The record
That's gonna
label
be
is.
awesome.
Yep. But let's talk about a little bit what you guys have played. I mean, the bands you guys have been out with some great bands over the years.
We've played with, I guess we've toured with Pop Evil, Puddle of Mud, Saliva, Trapped,
Yeah.
right?
Saving Abel.
Saving Abel,
Tantric.
Tantric, yeah.
OTEP last
OTEP,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
OTEP,
OTEP.
yeah,
Yep.
which was awesome, yeah. And we've played with,
Bubble Flex.
yeah, Bubba Flex too, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we've also
We've
played
opened
with-
for like single shows for Duff McKagan, Slash.
Yeah, yeah.
Quiet Riot. I don't remember. Dockin.
Yeah, like, God, like a lot of people that we've opened.
We
but-
did also our first
Oh,
tour,
yeah.
Lillian Axe.
Oh,
We did
yeah.
6
Oh,
years.
We
Yeah.
had Steve on. Yeah.
Steve.
Oh,
we did
you
6
have? That's
weeks,
cool,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
was a long one. That was a whole North American. That was about a 6-week tour. So that was actually my first time on a tour. So that was like,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
so it was like very.
We had
cool.
done small things before. We had done,
Yeah.
remember we did like things on the East Coast and Midwest and stuff
I
too,
don't know,
but
yeah.
yeah, and then we did that and that was cool. That was cool. That was our first like,
Great people. Out there.
Yeah.
Great.
yeah,
to-
it
to
was
run.
fun. It was a really fun tour. It was a really fun tour. Yeah. And it was
here's a
great.
question I have for you guys. If you had one band you could go out with, who would that band be? Each of you answer that question. All four.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you guys have different ideas of who you
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
go with.
AC/DC because I love them.
Oh my God. Okay. My favorite. Absolutely. I do a
Yes?
Bon Scott. One of my songs, I do Bon Scott. I sound just like Bon Scott. I wrote a song called Tonight's the Night. I met him in 1979 before he died in
Oh my
Rochester, New York, and we partied all night. So I wrote a song called Tonight's. He was a crazy, crazy guy. And the song, every time I do it, the crowd goes crazy. I remember I was out in California. Mike Portnoy was over on the side yelling, "Tonight's the night." We were doing a show with Metal Legions. I started laughing. The whole crowd, all those guys at Metal Legions were out there chanting it. But
Oh,
go ahead.
that's
I love AC/DC. Okay, go ahead. Next.
Yeah, I'll go. I love AC/DC, by the way, but I'd have to say probably Green Day because I saw them. I
Oh
think
my
it was
God,
a year
yeah.
or two ago,
Yes.
and the
yes.
show is incredible. man.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I would
Nice.
I
definitely
love them.
agree there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big fan, huge fan. Yeah.
I would say two bands definitely. Shinedown, I think would be that
Oh,
would be
great band.
incredible,
Yeah.
incredible match, I think. And also I think honestly like if we got like pretty something like the Pretty Reckless or even Hailstorm or something like along those lines.
Hailstorm.
Yeah, like in that, I mean, they're
Those
doing
are
really well.
both amazing bands.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, really.
Absolutely.
Shinedown, especially, I mean, they put on such a killer show,
Yeah.
light show too, and their sound live is like
Sounds awesome.
huge. It's great.
Nice. One more.
Yeah, I was gonna pick Shinedown, but also Godsmack. And one time I seen them
Oh,
both
yeah.
at the same time, same concert a year or two ago. It was awesome.
Mhm.
Would love to have opened that show, but
Yeah, nice. Well, and maybe you guys will pretty soon. You never know. We do a
Oh.
lot of stuff here in Syracuse and New York City and stuff like that too. And we're gonna try to, as you guys get out there, we're gonna try to put you guys on some shows, get you guys some good exposure out there. I know you'll definitely be up here in Syracuse. I mean, all the bands you guys named, Quiet Riot, I've been out with those guys. Everybody liked that. So, and a lot of they route through here, so we'll try to do some routing and stuff like that. Maybe get you guys on a few shows. I mean, there's some big stuff coming up. We're having a lot of fun with that. But Jason, go ahead. I don't want to take up the
Okay,
whole show.
well, two more questions.
Yeah.
The name of the band, how did you guys come up with that? Because great original name, and I always love to hear those stories, you know?
We're like a huge animal like lovers. So we're like, anything with some fur and a tail, and that's, we're like the biggest suckers in the world. So
our dish has gone on tour with us a few times.
yeah, yeah. So for some reason we had a band named Spider Monkeys. Okay.
Okay.
So we started with that, but there was a band in Florida that sent us a cease and desist letter. And we were like, oh, okay, all right, this looks very official and scary. So
Yeah.
let's do a little switch up here. So he's really good at coming up with names. Johnny is. He's like, he comes up with the best like nicknames for people and stuff. He just comes up with some funny ass things. And it just, and so he was like, what about Spider Rockets?
Yeah.
And I was like,
And I'll tell you where that came from. I was walking my dash hound, and we were going down by the high school over, which we don't live too far from a high school. And I was walking the dog, and the name of the high school is Raritan Rockets. So I'm sitting there with the dog as he's taking a leak on this rocket thing, and I'm going, that might be a good name. So I come walking back to the dog, and I seen her, and I said, let's get back
Oh,
to
wow.
So really, yeah, it just kind of came together.
Okay, I'm sure you guys hopefully all have a different answer, maybe not, but I was curious when you guys play, like, do you each have a favorite song of yours that kind of gets you off, when you're up there on stage performing it?
You know what? I always like the new ones. Like I love playing the new ones. I get really excited about doing that because somehow because they're so new and fresh.
Yeah.
It feels like there's more energy or something. And it could be totally wrong because there's plenty of other ones that we've done that I love as well. But I don't know, something about something fresh and new and you're like,
I get that.
you
Yeah.
show everybody this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, definitely Break and Come to Me are one of my favorites to play for sure. Just have a lot of energy,
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, I always like this intro song, which we usually pick a high energy one because we have an intro music that's going on, and that's just firing me up, and I just can't wait to get to go. And you started the last tour with this song called Love When off the last album, but this CD, I don't know what we're going to start with something different, we think, but either way, that's usually what fires me up.
Okay.
Like Casual Violence, love playing that one, and also our song Scream is a fun one to play. Like live or a live thing.
Oh, wow.
Heavy.
Yeah, now, let me ask you guys about Casual Violence, because prepping for today's show, I was just watching the video for that, and that was really getting me off. It looks like it was a lot of fun to make the video.
Oh, yeah.
It was cold, but fun.
It was, we did the video in this, it was a complex and it was built in the early 1900s and it was a factory for these seaplanes. Okay, so World War I, they had these seaplanes where they landed on the water and took off and stuff, whatever. So this factory is decrepit and freaking just like falling apart and cold as can be because we did this, of course, because we wouldn't do it in the spring or in the fall or something.
Yeah.
The dead of winter with no heat in this place and the dust flowing up in like the mouse droppings and everything
Yeah.
everywhere and stuff. And we're like dying. We can't feel our fingers and our feet. And we're like, all right, next take, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool.
That was really
Yeah.
cool.
But it was
a cool place.
it was really, it
A lot of
was
history.
really cool. A lot of history. And it was just like, oh my God, look at this. There's probably ghosts in here.
And now you got a great story to tell about it. Tom, take it away, my friend.
Sure, sure. So with the new record,
Yeah.
have you guys picked the single you guys want to put out? Have you picked the
Yes.
single? Okay, good, because I know you guys were going to talk about that and
Mm.
figure it out. And the first video, have you figured that out too?
We're working on the first video, the concept. We're getting that. I think it's the first one is going to be a lyric video, but a fun lyric video. I want,
Nice.
and yes, we do know what the single is. Yes.
Perfect, good. You don't have to announce it on here. Let's keep everybody in suspense,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you better text it to me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Very good.
yeah, we're really excited about it. And actually it's one that kind of resonates with a lot of people. Like when we've been bouncing it off of between the radio guy and we work with our Minnesota is it Minnesota? I think it's Minnesota. Bryn out in Minnesota. He put in so much time with us for like going over the songs and stuff and finding ways to transition one part into another. And this was his favorite song too.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
it must have been one of the top 3 that Tim picked, right? Is it?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely.
And Tim was the radio guy. Yeah.
Yep,
Super
that's what I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah. He's got a great ear for it. So is there anything you guys want to say before we're gonna have to get going here pretty soon?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to say before we get off here?
We're super excited to be talking with you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us.
100%.
We're looking
We're-
forward to hitting the road and
Oh
playing.
my
Yeah.
God, we are so looking forward to it,
Seeing
guys. We're
guys and-
so looking forward to
Yeah.
it. So we're looking forward for great opportunities coming up and just putting out this album finally. We're psyched. We
Yeah.
want people to like it and we hope that it resonates with a lot of people.
Like I said, we're thrilled that you guys love it. That's what we want. Well, that's what we
Yeah.
want to hear.
And we're
of
happy to be
course,
on
you know?
Firerock and having
Yeah.
your support and having your
Absolutely.
team.
Of course,
and it's really
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And you could always check us out. Our website is spiderrockets.com. All our socials are there. Everything's there. But it's a great place to start. And you can sign up on our mailing list as well there.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Jason, you got anything to say
I
before
just
we
want to
go?
say thanks for coming on the show. You guys are welcome back anytime. Thanks, and go support the Spider Rockets when the album comes out in June.
Excellent.
Thanks, guys.
Jason. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Thanks,
You guys are
guys.
Thank you
amazing.
guys so much, man. See you guys soon. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.